take cinnamon buns out of the oven. Really taken up baking now that the world has ended. So
the closest thing I can remember is 2008 with the mortgage crisis and everything. So our last gig was this morning. We were actually at Pearson Airport from 7 to 10 a.m. doing magic for people that were there. And I will say this. It was very quiet, but the people that were there were extraordinarily responsive. It was really fun. So it was a fun last sort of gig, but now like we don't know what's happening for the next few months. So what I did is I got home, I rested for like an hour or two, and then I made a group of 4 magicians whose brains I admire, who are in very different areas of truthfully North America. I picked all over North America, and I said, let's do an accountability group. And every week we're going to call, the first one's this Tuesday. We're calling from 11:30 to 12:30, and we all get 15 minutes to brainstorm with each other about our projects. And the question is, like, what do we do during this period? So like Jonah is going to be working on his own projects. I know he has some amazing like discourse and magic stuff. I'm working on my own projects that I've been working on in some cases for more than a decade. Together we're working on projects together. Yeah, and we're doing our TMC. So it's like
we've got, I don't know if I can do this right now, but we've got a board over there with full of ideas and post-it notes that has been stuck there for a few months. So now is the time for us to bring some of those ideas into reality. And whenever we come back, we're coming back with heat.
Here's my positive spin on this. For the foreseeable future, the whole world is on pause, and we're not working, and we're just sitting in our homes. And the only thing we can do now, if we're smart,
is watch Gilmore Girls.
Yeah,
and that's the only option.
He does it in the nude. I don't know why. It's so weird.
Yeah. It was anything with Meryl Streep for me. So this
that's on background. That's what inspires me. No, we get to work on our dreams.
Yeah.
All the stuff that we've talked about, like the stuff that you're saying, like you're like, oh, I have some projects, online projects that have sort of been on the back burner. And Jonah's has stuff that he's been talking about for a while, and I have stuff that I've been talking about, but like why would I pursue them? There's other projects that I'm pursuing, but those projects are all shut off. So now we just pursue. Right. We drink our gin.
It's time to focus on like the craft, the writing, our personal skills, our development, all that.
We're talking about positive spin on it, but like
it is the end of the world. We did just refund $8,000 worth of ticket sales,
and every show I had is
12
gone.
hours.
So I went from making, I try to make a certain amount of money to be able to afford the lifestyle that I live, whatever that means, right? I think that's how most of us work, is we try to be able to afford to live. And suddenly I just found out that the next 2 months of my shows are completely gone. $0 is coming in for the next 2 months. My side gig, which is Toronto Magic Company, has been shut off completely.
Hey, this is your main gig. That's your side chick.
That's what we're trying. That's what we're trying.
Listen, your side chick.
That's so important. The goal that I wanted is to move away from my own personal work and have TMC be because that is my passion.
Well, you know what? Now you get none of it, okay?
Well, there is none of it. But that momentum is gone. So, like, we're putting a positive spin on it. But, like, obviously, all of our work for the foreseeable future is shut off. And, like, if schools move to online, then, we can't do speaking at schools. Like, we can't do our stuff that is even our secondary or backup things that we sometimes do. Like, I can't go in and do classes where I teach magic. I can't do workshops. I can't do lecture tours. I can't travel.
For me, like
it's
if
all
this lasts till the summer, I have a massive summer tour every year. So if this lasts till the summer, then like doomsday is really near. There's for me, there's certain months that are higher months and certain months that are stagnant months, or average months where the Toronto Magic Company helps and that we're producing shows. So again, if this is a 5-month problem or a 6-month problem, then it's really scary. If it's a few month problem, then we can manage. And I also think that as much as we're kind of playing on both sides of this coin here, but I think if we're magicians, many of us are entrepreneurs, which means many of us are hella creative.
To this, skills. I keep saying, I got skills. I might not have.
You know what? I got skills. We will be creative. We will endure. And we're artists. We're creatives. We're entrepreneurs. And now's the time to make those words really bear their meaning. And
I think it's also important to note, because we're talking about the economic sort of impact, but to also remember that there are people who are going to be hit worse than us in many cases.
Of course.
And, like some of us are lucky, like I'm lucky I have a family that can help. Like, if worst comes to worst and I lose my place, I can move back in with my parents.
Yeah,
like,
I can move in with his parents.
Yeah, and they love him like a little too much. It's weird. I've seen them kissing.
More than
all
you,
three of them.
yeah.
So true.
So I have support groups, and other people have maybe more money saved up, but like the same way that like magicians are struggling with no work, there are people who are now closing their doors who are also still have to pay rent.
It's gonna ruin a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough for everybody. But the thing to keep in mind is, of course, that there are worse things that could be happening, like affecting people's health. Yeah. And, so like we're doing this to hopefully stop what looks like is something very bad. That's a very contagious pathogen. So like, what can we do? And that was our mindset when people were asking, like, are we canceling the show? And they asked in the thread that you were part of, are we canceling the show? And we were like, no. Because like we want to be responsible, but like, and then it was 4 hours that it's like, I guess we might have to. And then it was 4 hours after that, like, wow, we made the right choice. Really have to and then 4 hours after that, it was like, well, we wouldn't have had a choice because everything was getting shut down. Like, no matter what you want now, like your show is canceled. People are not coming. Like, even if you try, people are no one's coming. They're going to ask for refunds. Like,
right.
As they should.
Are you going to reschedule? Are you going to reschedule the April Fools?
Of course.
Yes.
Of course we're going to reschedule it. We're excited for when it comes back. And we know we've got the support of the magicians, and we know we've got the support of Toronto to come and be a part of the show. And we're excited to share it. And that's part of what's keeping us going is not only are we working on such amazing, exciting projects for when we come back, but we know that we've literally put pause on the game, on the video game. And when we get back in, we're going to be exactly where we left off with the same support, if not more, and the same momentum.
And hopefully we can still build on this. Like whatever we were all doing before this was happening, we can find a way to continue doing it. It doesn't have to be completely on hold. Or you pivot a little bit, do some exciting stuff.
We'll figure it out.
I'm
going to be selling pictures of my body if anybody wants them.
Yeah.